The moment the lockdown opened, people seriously psychologically started thinking that it's okay now to go out, it's okay to now eat, it's okay to have a walk without wearing a mask. What do you have to say about that? Because as you can see, it's more of an economical decision rather than related to COVID, that we've had to reopen, because otherwise I think people would starve. If we were not
You're
start
correct.
our offices and bring back our people who can work and earn and go back. So it's more of an economical decision. But on the other hand, what can we now do? Because even though offices have opened, checked with a lot of my friends and all, but a lot of them are not really opening things because the facilities are not there and people don't want to come.
I think you have hit the nail on the head. The decision to unlock was an economical one.
Yeah.
Italy, UK, and the others unlocked when the curve was on the down slope, when the cases were going down. India unlocked on the upslope, almost near the peak. So, but we had to do it because we had locked down early and there was economic distress. So I'm not criticizing them for early lockdown or for the early unlocking. But having said that, I think if you know and if you care for yourself and if you are common as far as your sense is concerned to put your best foot forward, then you should be very careful for the next 15 days. And 7 days have gone by, another 8-10 days. I would not step out unless I need to go out. Because the ill effects of unlocking will now be translated into the community. What happens when the traffic opens, when buses start, when trains start?
We just started the trains today. We saw in the news that we are starting trains today. Delhi has also started trains. Bombay, they are starting trains. So how do you maintain? I know they have kind of made special beds even for people to be transferred. But how is it going to work in practicality, doctor? I mean, to enter, one buggy in the train, how would it really work?
To be honest, it is extremely difficult to you can monitor the number of people entering a bus because there is only one entry exit. But how can you do that for a train? How can you say so many people are going to get off at the next station so many people can get in? It will all be individual. People have to realize. But unfortunately, everyone is in a hurry. Everyone wants to make up the salary that they have lost for 3 months.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, it's going to be might is right and fright is right behind all that. And people will just push and shovel and jostle. And you have to be extremely careful till all this doesn't settle down, till we don't see what this unlocking is leading us to. I would be very careful, put only baby steps forward, and that too when it is mandatory.
Doctor, what would you say about the migrants and how can we look into that situation? Because they are neither here nor there. I mean, they are not earning, so they cannot survive here. On the other hand, how do they travel there? And do we have enough hospital facilities to be able to look after them, without them being able to afford it?
No country in the world has hospital facilities for accommodating more than quarter to 0.5% of the population falling ill. Nobody expects that more than 2 or 3% of the population will fall ill at the same time. If tomorrow, though I may be running the largest bank with the best reserves, if all the citizens came to the bank and say, I want my money back, even the top bank is going to fail because they don't have the money. So society has to understand that the need for beds in a pandemic is high, which is why you need to have beds that you have made it in NSCI and other places. But the migrants, unfortunately, went back. They should have actually gone back much at the beginning of the lockdown, so that for 3 months they would have stayed and then come back. Now it's going to be like a ping pong ball. where the migrant goes there, carries all the virus from the city into the rural areas, seeds the rural areas. And now when the city is started cleaning up, he will come back into the city. So there's going to be a ping pong effect. This is what is logic saying, but what happens in true sense, one doesn't know.
One doesn't really know, doctor, because the thing is, we are hearing a lot of them, at least on television and when they are being interviewed. They are so frightened after the experience that they have gone through that many of them are really saying that they are not going to come back, or at least not for 6 months. I
You're
don't know, the
absolutely right.
financial situation will probably force people to come back. That's another thing. But at the moment, the whole attitude of the migrants is that they really would rather just stay where they are and work there, and they don't want to come back, which will of course create another problem of its own. You won't have workers, and they there will not be earning, and here we won't have people to take things forward. So it is going to create another. But that is a financial.
I think this COVID is going to dictate a new civil order. For families and houses that are used to 5 servants and 4 drivers, they will have to shrink to 2 servants and 2 drivers. We will all have to learn to fend for ourselves.
Yeah.
Because the very fact that you are having 4 servants and 3 drivers coming to and fro, every day so many drivers are knocking with corona on your door. Which one is going to bring it in? Nobody knows.
Yeah.
So we have to be like the rich Americans who, though they may be richer than you and me, they still do their own dishes and they drive their own car. So maybe we will have to start a new civil order.
Doctor, it's much easier there because dust, in India, dust is the killer. I mean, there you have once a week help coming and cleaning up your whole house and you're okay for a week. But here our major time and major energy goes into keeping the house clean and dust free. So I don't know how practical that can be in India.
You know, Indians have a beautiful word called jugaad. Necessity is the mother of all
Inventions.
When the opportunity arises, if you take your eyes off the goal, you will never achieve it.
So I must tell you this very interesting thing. It's such a serious topic. It's nice to break it away once in a while with something light. So for the first time on one of my WhatsApp groups, it's a very, very nice group and very intelligent, lovely women of the group. One woman put up this thing that she's gone and bought a vacuum cleaner, for her house, and this is operated with this and that, and it's intelligence, artificial intelligence, etc. And then there was so many questions, and all the others were asking, and then some others have ordered it. So actually, for the first time, we are even considering getting vacuum cleaners into our house, and cleaning our house with gadgets rather than with having people coming and cleaning. So what you're saying, yes, to some extent, does make sense, and some things will happen. And probably we will learn to do with less, definitely.
People are re-rating their relationships. Nobody realized that the husband could do shopping and the wife could do so much cooking. I am my wife. I could have married her for 40 years, but I am loving her all over again because the way she's done everything in lockout, it's phenomenal. So it's re-rating of everything. You have to dig in and pick out all your old abilities and put them to
do you get the time is what I'd like to know. With being in the medical profession, all the doctors are they are the one set of people who are really overworked right now because so many cases are coming in, and the sad part that we saw the strike happening the other day. I must touch upon that, even though it's deviating a little from the main topic. But what is going to happen with the salaries not paid to the doctors and the nurses? How are they going to carry on working, and is it going to affect the quality of the caretaking of those who are suffering from COVID?
I think it's a very sensitive topic. I did an NDTV interview 4 days ago.
Yeah.
And if you're fighting a war, who is the most important person? The Jawan on the front line.
Absolutely. And you are the Jawans. Absolutely.
If you put a cap on the Jawan where you tell him you can't eat this, there's only so much water, there's only so much outfit, and at the end of it, you will only be paid so much. You see, I understand that in the days of the pandemic, We have to work for the common and the community. But can you believe that most hospitals now in Maharashtra are giving 80% of their beds for 4,000 rupees a day? And in those 4,000 rupees, the bed charges, the blood tests, the sonography, the food, the echo, the basic drugs, and the doctor's fees. So the poor doctor feels that he studied for 12 years to take corona bullets. He has to pay 5 times the amount for his N95 mask. He has to pay 3 times the amount for the vegetables and the fruits. And now, since the last 6 days, the petrol prices have gone up every day. Everything goes up. You don't tell a Taj Mahal hotel that you will only cap the price of your dish at 50 rupees. So, if you have a disincentivized professional, what would happen? If you tell Virat Kohli, okay, look, you have to go and play till 5 o'clock, whether you win or lose, what is the quality of the game that he's going to play? I fear for that. And I fear not so much for the doctor and his salary, who also I want to look at, but I fear for the poor common man. Because if he's not able to give his best because he's disincentivized, how much are you going to milk the cow? So I think there is already some talk going on, and there will be some rapprochement. You have to pay the doctor's salaries. The poor chap, do you know my assistants in Rich Candy and Bhatia Hospital have been eating the same food from the same contractor for 3 months? They can't go out and have pav vada and pav bhaji.
Yeah.
Because a lockdown. So they need something. They need some sort of entertainment. They need some sort of entitlement. And if you don't afford them their salary, or you don't give them their cap, what they need, then it's not right. This is what I feel. Nobody should overcharge. Like the N95 guys are overcharging us, and the alcohol sanitizer guys are overcharging us. Nothing is happening there. Nobody is capping it there. But still, I am for the common man. Let's keep a reasonably good cap. Nobody should overcharge, but there are people who want to stay in suites in the hospital. Now, the Mercedes car will be subsidized by the Maruti car. So you have to come at some sort of an arrangement.
Well, it's happening across, I think, everywhere. The same problem is happening, that you cannot call your staff, and because you cannot call your staff, your office is shut. Because your office is shut, you're not really working. But on the other hand, you have to pay your staff because you cannot just let them. So I think it's a problem that is, doctors are facing it even more. And like you said, that you are the warriors, and you need to be looked after. Absolutely. But the whole country, I think the whole world is going through this salary cuts, and we're going through, they're laying off people and reducing the number. Like you said, even at home, later on, you'll have 2 people instead of 4, and you'll have 2 drivers instead of 5. So you are ultimately laying off some people, you're cutting short the number of people you'll be employed. So those people who are not getting those jobs will obviously not be earning and not be working. So it's a very vicious kind of a situation. Keep coming back and forth. Okay, getting back to the topic. So now, what would you tell all my friends, my Facebook friends, and all the people who are here on the show today, as to what
that as time goes by, the virus, which is already, I think, in community transmission, is going to knock on your doors, is going to be all over the place. When you get it, how you get it, if you get it, you have to be careful. The later you get it, the better it is, because one assumes that the later you get it, the lesser the virulence of the strain. There will be some herd immunity. So the aim of a lockdown is to prevent a surge in groups. So if you become positive in August or in September, you're probably going to get a mild attack, a mild strain. But to make sure that you don't get it early, you have to follow all the do's and don'ts. Don't get back into the restaurants or into the kitty parties, and don't get back into cinema halls and traveling so soon. I would say the next 4 weeks especially in a crowded metropolis like Mumbai, are very precarious days. One has to be careful. You can resume if you need to go out to see somebody who's close to you and you're only going on a one-to-one basis. Or if you're going to your sister's house, you can think of doing all those things because you have to resume life. But don't drop your guard. Don't say it is unlocked so we can do it. Locking and unlocking is in your hands. How quickly you get it is in your hands. If you get it, when you get it, God forbid when you get it, you have to make sure that you report quickly. Don't sit on it. You could be easily one of the 85% who will have nothing. You could be easily one of the 8% who could have mild, but you could also unluckily be one of those who have a serious problem. So don't take it lightly. Remember, this is an invisible enemy. We can't see it, we can't smell it, we can't touch it, we can't hear it. We know nothing about it. It's an enemy which has come in for the last 6-7 months. So when you're fighting the invisible, you have to make every visible mark. Don't take your eyes off you can't afford to quit because a quitter never wins and a winner never quits.
Never quits.
So very careful.
If you have liked our video, kindly subscribe. Press the bell icon so that you can get notifications about our latest videos. Like and share our video.